Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG, and today we have more leaks from Brothers War. And man, are they a couple of doozies as we go heavy into artifact territory and robots. So, without further ado, don't forget we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so please sub up, especially if you like the content. And if you don't like the content, you might as well sub anyway. You're already here. So, with that said, let's get into it and take a look at what the Brothers War brings us today. First, we have Mask of the Jade Crafter. So, two colorless artifact, X and tap, sacrifice the mask, create an excess colorless golem artifact creature token, activate only as a sorcery, and you can unearth it for 3. Um, Not terrible, probably going to be really good in limited because you can get 2 guys out of it for the price of 1. In standard, probably costs a little bit much. I have Trellar. I have no idea how to say this. Oh, that's right. This isn't in English. Oopsie. Just kidding, guys. I won't do that to you. So this is actually a bushwhack. It's 1 green. You get to choose one. Search your library for basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Not bad. Target creature you control fights a creature you don't control. This is an amazing card for a green deck, and not just limited powerhouse, but this could be a standard playable card because you could search for any land, basic obviously, but the ability to have your creature fight something and use it as removal as needed late game makes this a powerhouse. Man, oh man, are they really just dialing it up on this one? All right, so next we have the Rootwire Amalgam. 5 colorless for a 5/5. For 2 green and 3, you can sacrifice it to create an XX colorless golem creature token where X is 3 times Rootwire's power. It gains haste till end of turn. Very interesting. It's a good way to make a 5/5 that you can turn into a 15/15 and kill somebody for 5 mana. But at the same time, for a green and 1, you can make a 2/3 out of it and still be pretty good. This is a pretty powerful mythic, and this prototype ability is going to be huge, if not broken in standard. Next, we have a Mind Worker, 2 colorless for a 2/1. Tap it, you gain a life. If you control creatures named Power Plant Worker and Tower Worker, you gain 3 instead. So these are assembly workers; they're going to be coming. And don't forget, there's a land out there that gives assembly worker pluses. So we may see assembly worker tribal. That's saying a lot. Anyway, next we have Misery's Shadow. Doesn't look like my ex-wife. Anyway, black and 1 for a 2/2. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead. That's a great ability for a cheap 2/2. It also gets +1/+1 to end a turn for 1 colorless. This is a powerhouse and not just limited, but standard. Um, you just normally don't get creatures that have an extra ability plus the ability of fire breathing from any color. This is insane. Um, and of course, it's black. Why would it be black? Argothian Sprite, green and 1 for a 2/2. It can't be blocked by artifact creatures for 7. You can put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Not the best. Great common and will be really good in limited, not lying. Keeper of the Cadence, a blue and 4 for a 2/5. For 3 colorless, put target artifact, insert sorcery card from your graveyard on the bottom of Summoner's Library. Um, okay, interesting. It's a good way to not run out of cards in limited. Gurgling Anointer. I won't. That sounds like something that happens on spring break. Anyway, 1 black, 2 colors for a 1/3 with flyer. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Gurgling Anointer. Oh my god, I'm not going to be able to get past that. Um, when the I can't even say it. When it dies, return another target creature card mana value less than or equal to this power from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's real big. Big and limited, maybe even big and standard. Commander players will like this. This seems pretty sweet. Next we have Power Stone Engineer. Nothing like a 1 white, 1 colorless, 2/1 in white. That whenever it dies, you create a Power Stone. So basically, you get to ramp by killing something with it and letting it die. Sky Fisher Spider, green, black, 2 for a 3/3 reach. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent. That's really good. When Skyfisher Spider dies, you may gain 1 life for each creature card in your graveyard. If you do, you exile the spider from your graveyard. Interesting. Next we have City Cityscape Leveler. Ugh. 8 colorless for an 8/8 trampler. When you cast this spell and whenever it attacks, destroy up to one target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a tapped Power Stone token. Unearthed for 8. Man, almost seems like we're playing Eldrazi here. Blade Coil Serpent, 6 and X. So it's a 5/4, and for each when it enters the battlefield, for each 2 blue spent to cast it, you draw a card. For each 2 black, opponent discards a card, and for each 2 red, it gets +1/+0, trample, and haste. This thing's absurd. It's already a 5/4 that if you're playing it in blue, you can draw 3 cards from it. That is disgusting. Late game, this is a 5/4 that you may spend 12 blue on and draw 6 cards. This is Hydroid Krasis' better brother. Like, cards like this with these abilities are going to be so broken and everywhere in Standard and Commander. Muriel shielded the Argive, white and 3 for a 3/4. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells, activate abilities of creatures, artifacts, enchantments, and whenever it attacks, you create X 1/1 colorless soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. So you always get at least 1, and then you get 2, and then 3, and man, is this busted. It's going to be a lot of creature fighting going on. So Skystrift Officer, blue and 2 for a 2/3 flyer. When it attacks, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Tap 3 untapped soldiers you control to draw a card. This is really disgusting. This is easily a $5 to $10 rare, especially in blue. In limited, powerhouse. In standard, definitely playable. Next we have Static Net, white and 3 enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, target non-land permanent and opponent controls gets exiled until the net leaves play. We've seen this all the time before. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and create a tapped Power Stone token. Now, nothing like exile and all the stuff is going to kill you and mana rampant at the same time and gain a life. Alright, we have Over the Top. So 2 red and 5 sorcery. Each player reveals cards from top of their library equal to the number of non-land permanents they control. Then put all permanents revealed this way onto the battlefield. Put the rest into each player's graveyard. Because we need more of this in our lives. God, this is going to be a broken card. It's going to get busted. God, I can't wait. Giant Slagmaw, red and 2 for a 4/3. It's a dinosaur beast with trample. Players can't gain life. We've seen this plenty of times. Yeah, pretty good. Iron Claw Crusher. 7 colorless for a 4/6 that whenever it attacks, target attacking creature gets +X/+0 to the end of turn, where X is the Crusher's power. So basically it's an 8/6. Because it can pump itself. Or anything else, but still, point being. Now, for Prototype, for 2 green and 2, you get 2/5, which can make itself a 4/5, which is still cool. And even better when you say Giant Growth this, attack you for 10. Saying. Jesus. Alright, Autonomous Assembler. Again, Assembly Worker, because why not? 5 colorless for a 4/5. Vigilance, 1 and tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target assembly worker you control. Oh god. Prototype, white and 1 for a 2/2 that has the same ability. The 2 mana is probably good enough just to play it like that. The 4/5 is great late game. And boy did I call it an assembly worker themed deck. Jesus. Anyway. Faithful Cooperation in black and 3. It's a sorcery. Target opponent gains control of target artifact you control. Draw cards equal to its mana value. Sure, some kind of weird combo with this, but I just don't know what it is. Alright, next we have Arms Race, red and 3 enchantment. For red and 3, you may put an artifact card from your hand on the battlefield. The artifact gains haste, sacrifice it, begin your next instep. Oh, sweet mother of God, it's a sneak attack for just artifacts. Same cost, luckily it's not 1 red, but all these big nappy artifact creatures, yeah, they're coming in hot. Real hot. So, moving on. Next we have Transmogrant Altar. So for 3, you get an artifact that, for a black and tapping, you sacrifice a creature to add 3 colorless. Okay. For 2 and tap, sacrifice a creature, create a 3/3 zombie artifact creature token. Alright, I could see some things that go on here. Probably pretty good in limited. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of weird thing to do in standard with it. Mass Production. So white and 5 to create 4 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens as a sorcery. It's okay. I mean, we used to get 3 for 4. Now it's 6. Or, I mean, for 4 mana, get 3. Now it's 6 mana, get 4. I, I'm not sure it's good enough. But if you're sacrificing things like with the previous card, you can turn all these 1/1s into 3/3s or some other silly shenanigans. Next we have Levitating Statue, 2 colorless, flying, artifact. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with a +1/+1 counter on it, for 2, you can activate it to make it become a 1/1 construct. Yep, so it's going to see a lot of play because this is basically a 1/1 flyer that's going to just keep getting bigger. Um, Probably not going to see limited. Probably going to see a little bit of limited play, maybe not a whole lot of standard, but heck, who knows these days. Next, we have the Power Plant Worker. We just talked about this earlier. So 5 colors, you get a 4/4. For 3, Plant Worker gets +2/+2 to end of turn. If you control creatures named Mine Worker and Tower Worker, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Power Plant Worker instead. Activate once each turn. This is disgusting. Limited All-Star. Next, we have a Goblin Blast Runner. 1 red, you get a 1/2 Goblin. Man, things are just getting big. Goblin Blast Runner gets +2/+0 and has menace as long as you sacrificed a permanent this turn. So this may very well just be a better card for Modern Burn. Between fetch lands and everything else that's going on, this thing's always a 3/2. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's not prowess by any stretch of the imagination, but it could be as good. Who knows? Next we have Argivian Avenger, 6 colorless for a 5/5. 1 mana till end of turn. The Avenger gets -1/-1 and gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Haste. At least it's not lifelink. Sweet God. Or First Strike. Ugh. Next we have Hero of the Dunes. I think I missed this one yesterday. Black, white, 3 colors for a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, return target artifact or creature card mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Creatures you control mana value 3 or less get +1/+0. Very interesting for 5 mana. Probably not going to see standard play, but definitely going to be really good and limited. Just for the fact that you can pull stuff out of the graveyard. Just saying. So, with that said, guys, that's all we have for today. Thanks a lot for sticking around. Don't forget, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, please sub up. If you haven't subbed yet, now's your chance. It doesn't mean a lot for you, but it means a lot for me. And at the end of the day, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comments down below, feed the YouTube algorithm, and if you're looking for a good card to help support the channel in other ways, check out the Patreon link in the description, eBay stores in the description, and my personal email if you want to reach out and say hey. With all that said, until next time, be kind, and I hope to see you across from the game table.